Hello again. Welcome to the Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So this time we have Kingdom of Equitaine versus the Empire of Sunstal. I'm sure I'm probably saying that wrong. So here we have the board, and the two players today is myself, being told by one of my group to say I'm Sir MC because I'm Sir MC 2015 on the Ninth Age website, and today my opponent is one of our group members. His name is Dan, and Dan is playing the Empire. With his Empire, he has his Marshal that's seasoned with a hardened shield and the Sword of Heroes. He has a Captain that's on a Warhorse. That's the BSB. Has a Halberd and the Winter's Cloak. He's got a level 2 Mage with the Path of Fire and the Tome of Arcane Lore. He has one Inquisitor with a brace of pistols, and he's a Witch Hunter. He has a unit of 20 light infantry that's seasoned, and 10 light infantry with handguns, 39 heavy infantry with full command, halberds, no shields, seasoned, veteran standard, banner of speed. He has a heavy infantry with spears and full command, and they're 29 strong. He has 10 state militia with skirmish and pistols, 39 Imperial Guard, full command, icon of the Relentless Company, 5 Imperial Rangers, 9 Knightly Orders with a full command with a steel standard, 20 Flagellants with a champion, 2 cannons, and 1 Arcane Engine with the Arcane Shield. And that's got that bubble effect that causes distracting for any unit within 6 inches. So, what do I have? I have the Green Knight. I have 2 units of archers. I have 2 trebuchets, a unit of mounted yeomen, unit of aspiring knights, and 2 units of Knights of the Realm. I have a BSB, and my general's on a warhorse as well. I'm trying to think, do I have anything else in there? I have 2 level 2 damsels, both of white magic. And let's see. So this is how the board looks after vanguards. And let's see. So that's his army going from left to right. Again, he's got what were those things called? Basically, he's got they could have scouted, but those 5 archers, and he's got the 10 10 handgunners, the flagellants, the knights behind the flagellants. He's got the guys that have the silver shields. Those are his. They used to be called great swords. Those are the Imperial Guard now. There's going sword and board. And let's see. Then you've got his halberdiers. He's got that huge unit of crossbowmen that are BS4. You've got the 10 guys with the pistols over there, and then you've got his mage in with his spearman unit all the way over there. And just such a smaller army. The unit of infantry there is actually the Peasant Crusaders. And that's it. So he gets first turn. He gets goes to give them magical shooting. Wait, I think I stopped that one. They're +1 to wound, or something like that. No, I let him give them magical shooting. I did do that because they only have a 12-inch range, and he's got fireball, flaming sword, cascading fire, and those are his 3 spells with his level 2. So his archers open up and fire at my archers, kill 5 of them right off the bat. And those archers and the handgunners over there turn around and manage to kill only 1 peasant yeoman. Those peasant yeomen, this game, you always hear me say, peasants, they're meant to die. So far, 6 peasants down. Let's see how they do. Oh, there goes another peasant. So this time, the first one was from the set of archers. This time was from the handgunners there in the back. Here's a cannon. Cannon did nothing this turn. And now it's Equitaine turn 1. And there is, I call him Duke Breslin, who's an old Green Knight model that's been converted to have a lance. That's a rat ogre head that he's pierced through. He's set up as like a blender lord. He's got Virtue of Might and the I think he just has a normal spear this game. And then my BSBS is Sword of Heroes and a couple other things on him. And a Virtue of Daring. Really doesn't... Well, honestly, I can't remember if it does much this game or not. It's been a while since I've had this and I just haven't had a chance to make the battle report. So I move my Green Knight up. I actually charge with the Green Knight and his guys run away. I redirect and to the archers or his crossbowmen. They hold, but they passed their terror test and they failed to wound the Green Knight. Why? Because it's the Green Knight. Over here, I charged with my mounted yeoman right into the archers because he had first turn. I failed to say that before. And that's how the board looks at the end of movement phase for Equitane. So I cast Luminous Bolts on his Flagellants there. And I cast Guiding Hand. He stopped my Luminous Bolts. I got Guiding Hand off, so now they have a +1 to hit for their ballistic skill. And they actually managed to kill 4 of his gun line that he had there. And they turn around and flee. They fail their leadership tests, and they flee, taking them right off the table. I forgot how they fled. Oh, that's a bad picture. But he managed to turn around and kill one of my mounted yeomen in close combat. But I did win that combat. He broke and fled, and that's how it looks at the end of turn 1. So turn 2, he turns around, he advances a little bit. And let's see. Yeah, he's just advancing. He's got that bubble going around over there, so everything's got distracting within 6 inches of the cart. He turns around, he managed to kill the rest of my peasant bowmen with that huge unit of archers he had over there. Peasants, they're meant to die. Cannon. The cannon misfired again. That's why I keep taking a picture of these cannons. That's why he's holding his ears right there. He rolled a misfire each turn so far with the cannon and missed, and then the other cannon just missed. So he misfired and killed one of his crewmen each turn. So now it's Equitane turn 2. There's a better picture of the Duke and all those lovely old ancient knights showing how long I've been playing this army. Equitane or Bretonnia was my first army 20 years ago. It's fresh out of high school. Started playing them, and as you can tell by the ancient models that they're there, you can tell my level of painting which has progressed. I do take pride in that Green Knight. So here we are now. It's Equitane's turn 2. And I just kind of, let's see what happens. So I decided to do some charges. Let me go back a screen real quick. So I take my my Aspiring Knights and I go around the Flagellants into his Knights. I take a unit of Knights into his Flagellants and I take my Peasant Crusaders into the flank of the Flagellants. I did not know Flagellants were toughness 4 in this edition, and they were just rude, unbreakable. It's need I say more right there. Just an unbreakable unit. I should have known. Nothing else. No, I did charge. I think with the Green Knight as well. Let's see. So over here, that combat, I lost 1 knight to a dangerous terrain test. Figures. And that's the way. And I did charge the Green Knight right into the bowman. And again, he's Green Knight does his job, and I do an error here, but you guys will see in just a moment what I probably should have done. So he had moved his halberdiers forward, his great swords forward. And meanwhile, I moved my yeoman closer to his cannons, and in the backfield there are my hedge knights. Unfortunately, they now have taken away ambush from Equitane, but and gave them vanguard. But back when they did have ambush, 15 strong popped up right behind the lines. So there's that combat. There's those two combats. And I saw what was coming down the pike there, so I took my characters, I formed their own unit, and put them off to the side to see where they need to be. Again, they're my reserves, and I put Guiding Hand on them for, I think, put on, I believe, just the initiative. So they're now initiative 5 and going before his knights. That thing got hit with a trebuchet. Trebuchet did 4 wounds. Unfortunately, it has 5. I think it has 5 or 6 wounds, so I was unable to actually kill it. But put a little bit of hurting on that thing. Okay, I was proud of my trebuchet. Actually hit its target, unlike his cannons that just failed. He took his cannons. He fired at my trebuchet, and then he fired at the other trebuchet. It misfired, and the other one missed. Then he turned around and he tried shooting at my knights, and my trebuchet, again, misfired and missed. So, close combat, Green Knight kills 4 of his, and they flee, because he does cause terror, therefore they're -1 leadership. General's too far away. Even though he did have a rank, so they were stubborn, he rolled more than 6. So I position the Green Knight so I can go after the cannon, or his the arcane engine over here. So on the charge, I lost 2 knights, and I lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 peasant crusaders. Still have a rank, and he lost a lot of flagellants. So I was very proud and happy with my knights. Should I have double charged with the extra unit of the aspiring knights? That's a possibility, but I don't know. I still don't know. I hate. I'm not a fan of stubborn units, and I have dwarves. I have slayers. I have more slayers. I know what to do with, but God, such a good unit. So please know I'm not bashing his unit choice or anything else. It's just such a good unit. It's unbreakable. It is talk about true grind. He has them armed with flails, so it is +1 to hit them. And I think he had a distracting spell on, so it's +1, -1. And the Peasant Crusaders, they didn't do a whole heck of a lot. That was mostly from the knights. So, one of my trebuchets misfired, so can't shoot for the rest of the game. So all the other trebuchet shots is from a single trebuchet. So this is now his turn. He takes his what were they? Basically those are the guys with the pistols, and they're staring right at the back end of the Green Knight. His mage is looking at the Green Knight, and he charged the unit of knights the way I thought he was going to do. He charged with his great swords, or Imperial Guard now, into the Peasant Crusaders, and that's how combat looks. So he got off a Fireball spell with his attribute on the Green Knight with Irresistible Force. He did a total, after all my armor saves and rolling the wound and everything else, he did a total of 1 wound to me. And because of the miscast, he did 1 wound to himself. We were laughing at that. We're like, okay, you get 1, I get 1. And so then he fired an open up grape shot. Out of both cannons doing grape shot into that unit of the Knights of Forlorn, he did 1 wound. That was it. And they only had the 5-up ward save in close combat this edition. It's not like the current rules now. Over there, he managed to kill another knight. I killed a knight. We ended up having... he lost combat, but he stayed. And let's see. He killed 1, 2, 3, 4 of my peasants. 1 of my knights. I only killed a couple of his crusaders and maybe 1 of his Imperial Guard. It wasn't looking pretty. Yeah, that they really need hatred on that first round of combat or something like, or maybe eternal hatred, the way that old rule used to work. It's You know, again, he's striking first. He's at initiative 4. Actually, I thought my guys were initiative 3. They were initiative 4 as well. But that I definitely I was very impressed by his use of his units and everything else. Again, that unbreakable unit just was going to grind away those knights. And over there, wasn't looking pretty for the other unit of knights over there. There's another unit of peasant bowmen, and I'm taking pop shots with them. Couldn't tell you what I was shooting at. But I did manage to run my mage up, and she managed to kill his mage. Why am I feel like I'm missing something. All right, so declare charges. So for charges, sorry for going back forth. For charges, and he and I were sitting there going over the rules. I'm like, it says you can charge out of a unit and then the unit can't charge, but how many characters can charge out of the unit? So what I did is I charged out of the unit both the characters, the combat characters, into the flank of his halberdiers that had his general. So in comes the Duke Breslin, in comes Sir William, my standard bearer, and I move the mage up. Hence, that's why during the magic phase, as you see here, I'm turning around and roasting his mage with luminous bolts. And I lined the green knight. I don't know what I was thinking. I lined the green knight so that I could hit that arcane engine and then overrun into the next combat and help out with that combat because I thought I needed it. That was just bad on my part. You'll see in just a moment. So I get guiding hands. So they're now initiative 5. I thought they're initiative 4. I put that 1 wound on them. It's like, all right, maybe they can hold. Maybe they can hold. I charged into to his cannons with my fast cavalry and my hedge knights, and managed to kill both. That one lost 1 guy. I don't remember if it stayed or died. So over here, he managed to kill 1 knight. I lost combat. They broke and ran, and I did nothing to him. We were bouncing back and forth, and I couldn't get through that armor. And even when I was strength 5, I only did 1 wound to him. Let's see. And over there, you can tell by the diminished... oh, no. Haven't gotten that combat yet. So they turn around, they just reform. So over in this other combat, I managed to kill all the flagellants. Why do I think I did something wrong here? We did do something wrong here. Because I know those knights, I believe, turn flee, get caught, and die. But he kills all my peasant crusaders. They're just gone. And the Green Knight goes poof due to combat res. Because he failed to hit and wound everything. Oh no, we did that right. So those knights stayed there, only they're going to get charged soon. Meanwhile, because of what my general's able to do, he did something about like 9 to 8 wounds by himself. The BSB did another 3 or 4 wounds. We ended up having the same number of ranks, so he wasn't steadfast. And yeah, I broke him and ran him down. Meanwhile, now it's turn 4 to Stansel. And he turns around. He charges my BSB in the rear. He charges my unit of knights up at the top of the screen there. And all I can do is watch in horror. So I challenge him out. And he turns around. He accepts. Because he's got his general in that unit and his... or he may have declined actually, because it doesn't hurt him to decline. I think he may have actually declined. He moved everything up. He moved his 10 men over there to try to pick on the hedge knights, and up in the far right hand corner you can't see them, but those bowmen that ran away, they finally rally. So I'm still feeling pretty good. You can see the top of the base over there. So he turns around, he just does some pop shots, kills a couple of them. They turn around, they run in my knights, and yeah, they're toast. He wins that combat. I turn, flee, and he catches me right off the starting line. And now that's how that board looks. My BSB fled right past the cow. The cow got loose. That was the story that we're coming up with as to why I couldn't shoot the entire game. So he runs past the cow. He's just from staying on the board, but he does have the banner from the BSB, and he's definitely in my line. And that's actually our objective, is to get into the opponent's line. Let's see. So over there, he turns around. He kills another knight. I managed to stay, and it's not turn 6. He just moved them up. The dice just haven't be there. So he does pop shots. He's killing my Knights Are Forlorn. I'm going, okay, I can live with that. They're leadership 8. They're fine. I'm not worried about that. They're immune to terror and fear, not panic. They end up running. He ends up charging into my bowmen. Bowmen are going to be quick to die. And because I held, and now it's turn 5, and because I held for more than one turn or 2 rounds of combat, I was able to rally my BSB and have my general and my BSB charge back into that combat and get them back to what should be going on. So at this point in time, that's how the board looks. So as I said, he's gone ahead. He's killed that other unit of archers. I've got my single trebuchet that's actually able to do anything. He's got those spearmen all well lined up, and I've got my mage left over there. I really don't know why I just took a random picture. So, as I said, I charged in. I lose 1 knight. He loses all of that. I turn around and I lost another 1, 2, 3, 4 hedge knights, and they flee. I couldn't believe my luck. So next turn, next round of combat, or he rolled a 10 on dice. So yeah, this is now the next round of combat. I lose another knight. He loses combat, and he rolled a 10. He needed a 9 to stick. He rolled a 10, and he did that twice. His BSB is, you can just see the edge there of his base on the left there. His BSB is within 12 inches, and his BSB turned around and it failed. He bad rolls 2 times in a row. There's a better picture. So that's how that looks. So now it's my turn. My general goes ahead and charges into his spearman all the way over there. My 3 remaining Knights of the Realm with a mage charge into his BSB. My BSB is off to the races because I ran down that other unit to make sure it was destroyed. And that's how the board looks. So this is the end of turn 6. And let's go through combat. So combat, does he do a wound? No, that's because I got a spell to go off. That's why I have that token there. So there's that. There's that combat. That was a thing of beauty. So I got Luminous Bolts off, and with Luminous Bolts, I left all but one. One guy. Couldn't kill him. Couldn't kill him. Tried shooting a trebuchet at him. Couldn't kill him. And that's what took that 10-man unit down to 1, was that pretty little mage. And that's him. That was the trebuchet shot. Sorry, I didn't shoot the trebuchet. Trebuchet did that to him all the way in that back corner. So that unit of 20 strong is now 6 strong. And trebuchet just had a beautiful shot, pulverizing that unit for maximum effect. And over there, I turn around and I was actually able to catch his BSB. I think we both whiffed on each other, but he lost, and I caught him, or I may have just killed him in the I think, or I killed him in the combat. I won't lie, it's about 2 weeks ago, and I had a vacation between here and there. I don't remember. All I remember is his BSB did die, and they ended up charging into the rear of his knight unit. And he's like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe that just happened. Let this be a lesson. Never take anything for granted, because when you do, this is what happens. And had there been a turn 7, that would have been the combat. Over here, my general turnaround, he challenged me out. I had to accept, and I overkilled. Pardon me. I killed his unit champion, but he stuck because he was steadfast. And I finally rallied my 5 remaining hedge knights that did nothing all game. And that's how the end of the game looks. So it definitely was a bloody battle. It was such a fun game. I won't lie. I looked at that table across from me, and I was just like, oh my god, there is so much over there. How do I have a chance? I feel I definitely made a bad play once or twice. I probably should have either avoided the flagellants or charged both knights and the crusaders into the flagellants. My general is fantastic. He had that one unlucky leadership test twice. And that's it. That's how it looks. So the end result was a victory was definitely a clear victory for Aquitaine, but it was a rough victory. We were both going. Felt like Aquitaine was had their one foot on. They were always on their heels, even when they started getting some of the upper hands. Still on their heels. Part of it might have been army design, part of it play, combination of both, but it was a solid victory. It was such a fun game. Dan was such a great guy to play. Let's see. So for the Aquitaine, the MVPs, Duke Breslin. He was just turnaround. He was slaughtering infantry left and right. Getting him into the flanks was perfect. And for the Empire Stonstal, those flagellants. Oh, those flagellants. They held up my knights so that I couldn't move my knights, which then allowed the Crusaders to go pop on my turn. So in his turn, he charged my knights, killed my knights, and those flagellants held me up for combats. And that's it. So thank you so much for listening. Sorry it was a while, so I had another battle report up. Definitely had a couple games I have to catch up on. And that's it. Definitely give me some feedback. I did notice one person that also has some 9th Age turn around and like their channel. Thank you so much. And all I can say is thank you for watching this. My group and we are enjoying making them. I actually have a battle report I need to do where 2 of the people who I play with were playing the game, and I'm just turning around taking the pictures and trying to learn, trying to see how their prospective armies work. And you'll see that in a few days as soon as I can get the battle report ready. So again, thank you, and look forward to having you guys watch it again.